Hi everyone, welcome to Right to Right. Today I am talking about Twitter basics for live streaming. And the reason why I'm doing that, let's take these off to get rid of the shine. Um, the reason why I'm actually doing that is because when I started, I've been on Twitter now for, probably about 5, 6 years. And I always thought it was full of B-grade celebrities and journalists chasing those B-grade celebrities. It's not true. I mean, yes, it is true. They are there and it does
And they are
happen.
B grade.
And they are B grade. Oh my gosh, are they what? But that's not just all. I was saying in my Periscope earlier that I find that it's like Shrek's quote about ogres. Ogres are like onions. Twitter is like an onion. It's got all of these layers. But when you jump into the world of live streaming, so many of them hang off of Twitter. I really needed to start to learn Twitter more because it drove so much traffic to my Twitter feed that I really needed to get to the crux of it. So what I wanted to do for those of you live streaming is not teach you all of the really in-depth nitty-gritty stuff, but it's the core set of basics that you need to have set when you do go live, when you do start streaming. So that's what I thought I'd do. So the first thing that you need to do, and there's two main things that you just got to have on the list that you just have to check off. And the first thing is an image. So you can see up here, I've got my image, my face. Get rid of the egghead, please.
Please.
Trolls are eggheads. You're not a troll. Tim's got this great picture over there. It doesn't have to be a set studio polished headshot. Mine is actually taken with my phone in my bedroom. It's just really quite a basic photo, but it needs to be bright and engaging. See, and that's Tim's. You can see his headshot there. You can please have a nice polished headshot, but hi Tim.
Hello.
Hey, Tim.
I figured we'd Tims it surround you. Go ahead.
You do. It's a car between two Tims.
The Tim sandwich.
It's a Tim sandwich. All I need is a tam and I'd be set. Anyway, back to it. So what you need is a nice shot of your face. And the reason why I recommend a face shot for live streamers is because you're setting up this authenticity. You're setting up a relationship with these people. So a face goes much further than a brand logo. Unless you're going to get multiple people managing that account, I would recommend a person to actually hold that image there. So that's the first thing. And the reason why you need this is because in the main, Periscope and Blab pull those images through to your account profile. So Periscope and Blab will draw your image, your name, your biography through onto your profile. So you set all of this up in Twitter and you can edit them in Periscope and in Blab. So egghead, 1. 2 is your description. And once again, this is pulled through to Periscope and Blab. And I'm using those because those are the two major live streaming platforms that I see people on. Meerkat seems to be dying an unusual death. So descriptions. 160 characters. I know it's hard, but you're going to have to get used to it for Twitter. You've got 140 characters for your tweets. You got 160 characters for your bio. Part of that, make sure you've got a link through to your website if you have a website to drive people to. I recommend a distinct landing page for them so you know where they're coming in from. I use a bit.ly link. for mine, and it needs to be in the format of http:// full link. Yeah. So you need to put it in that format, and that will tell you how many leads you're generating from Twitter. Okay, that's the reason why I recommend putting the link in there. Emojis are another good one. They set you out from other bios. But be mindful, if you've seen any of my Periscopes on emojis and you're an iOS user, make sure you don't use any of the fonts that sit in the iOS, because a lot of Android users can't read them and you'll look like a bit of a fool.
They will hate you.
Yeah, I do. Sorry. I will jump up and down if I come across those that I can't read. It's pointless. And just as an aside, over 50% of all mobile phones are actually Android phones. At the moment, iOS is about 40%. So, yeah, you've still got to play to the majority, and the majority is Android. So, descriptions, and they're pulled through to your live stream app, whether it's Blab or Android. You can edit them. You can edit your bio in Periscope and you can edit your bio in Blab. But why would you? If you set it, do a set and forget, set it in Twitter, pull it through. There you go. So, speaking about Blab and Periscope and tweets and 140 characters and all of those kinds of things. For Blab, we'll start with Blab since we're here. With Blab, when you go to tell a little bird, which is what I'm about to do, it tweets out the title of your Blab plus a link to the Blab plus the names, the handles of the people that sit in the Blab. So at the moment, it's my tweet has just gone out with @BrandIdeas and @RockALifeCoach. So what we recommend is that, your Blab title lengths are 80 characters. It says 110, but you really need to get most of the information out in the first 40 characters of your Blab title. It's tough, I know, but if you don't, what happens is Blab edits back from the end of your title to include all of the handles of the people that are sitting in the Blab. So if you can see in mine, I've got a couple of hashtags in the titles. This is one of the times where you use the hashtags in your words. So you hashtag the words, not add them at the end. Otherwise, they're going to be cut off. And in Periscope, you've got 100 characters. And in Periscope, once again, I encourage the use of emojis in your titles as well. And that is so that when people are scrolling down the stream, it sets your title apart from all of the other ones. Have you noticed that, Tim?
Yeah, I have, and I'm not a huge Periscoper, but when I do see an emoji, it attracts my attention. So
yep.
I certainly agree that it does. As long as everyone's not doing it, then it just becomes noise.
Yeah. Otherwise, you're not setting yourself apart. You're just one of the crowd. And what happened was I saw that people weren't using it, so I started doing it. And then when everybody else started to do it, I stopped doing it. So you're just going to have to monitor it and use it when you see fit. So your Periscope titles, I would say probably, I say 100 characters, but even use the Blab thing where you use 40 characters in your title. The reason why is when you go live on Periscope and you're asking your followers to tweet it out, to share to Twitter, it will, whether it adds a whole heap of text at the front, now live on Twitter, now live on Periscope. And for them to tweet that out, they actually have to edit your title. You don't want people changing your title. You want to control that. So make sure that you actually have all of that set. So just be mindful on how many characters you actually use for your titles. Hi, Stephen. So that's going live. The other thing that you want to do for Twitter is, like, I do these scheduled blabs. So I create an image and I will post that to Twitter. You can post images to Twitter and add it. And in that image, I recommend putting in the time, a bit.ly link or a pretty link or an hourly link, whatever it is you want to use, and the title as well, and using all of that information in there. And you can pin that post to your top of your Twitter feed so that when people come to your profile, that's the first tweet that they see up there. So that's another one. Speaking of images, there are things where you can do header images for your Twitter profile. I recommend and use Canva, because Canva have all of the images set, like they have the image dimension set.
The size.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
It does make life easy. I'm a graphic designer, but even I use Canva for those sort of quick and dirty things where you can just use their resources. It pulls it down. You've downloaded it, bang. And you can upload your own graphics to Canva. You don't have to kind of get caught into the buy Canva's images. So
no,
you can actually,
I don't think I've bought an image off of Canva once. I add my own images and use, over time you'll get to learn the platform. But that's a whole different blab.
Talk.
Now, I mentioned layers and conversations. Just be mindful of what's happening when you go live streaming. Afterwards, go and interact with people. Thank them for being here. Like on the blab, I will go back when people have tweeted it out. I will go back and I'll thank them and interact with them and ask them how they've enjoyed it. Now, I'm going to drop a link over in the side over there for a particular tool that I use for Periscope, and it is a fullscope.tv. So this is a free platform which is currently in beta at the moment, and it gives you all the stats for your Periscopes. So it'll show you the comments, it'll show you the hearts that you've received, it'll show you the tweets, and it then allows you to interact with people that have been on your scope. So you can thank them or you can ask them what they found most interesting, and it helps the engagement. So I feel like I've gone through a heck of a lot and dumped a heck of a lot on the people that are sitting here. So I'm sorry if you feel a bit overwhelmed. But I'll go back and revise it. And this is all going into the blog post anyway, and there'll be a checklist for you to go through. So, kids, put a nice profile picture. Description, make sure your description is less than 160 characters. It includes a link and it has some emojis in it. And the reason why those two are the first thing that I talk about is that, they're pulled through to Periscope and to Blab. So let's keep it all in one spot, do it once, set and forget, and then use it somewhere else. A cover image, that helps. The title lengths of your Blabs and your Periscopes, try to keep it around 80 characters. Interact, promote, pin, and analyze. Wow.